So, good evening, afternoon, morning, whatever it happens to be while you're watching it. It's my third installment from the new studio. I'm still waiting on a few things to come in to, make it a little more fancy and all that good stuff. So, I'm just going to keep on going until I get them. So, I have a huge kind of current event thing that happened today, and then I'm getting into something I've been wanting to kind of address for a while. I was watching a podcast today, and it kind of sparked it, so I'm going to go with it. So, with no further ado, let's go with the breaking news of the day. And Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg has passed. She passed today. Don't really know what from, but she's been in and out of the hospital, and also there's health concerns and issues she's had. So she finally gave up the ghost, if you will. She is a human being. She deserves respect, but wanted to show you something that here, part of this article from NPR. Just days before her death, her strength had waned. Ginsburg dictated this statement to her granddaughter, Clara Sparrow. My most favorite wish is that I will not be replaced until the new president is installed. So I can only offer so much sympathy because that right there, she's on her deathbed. She's got, obviously some bad stuff going on. I'm sure her family was all around and concerned. Obviously, her granddaughter took dictation for her, and this is what she comes out with. So, goodbye. So this is the left's second worst nightmare just happened. Their first nightmare, it would be Trump being reelected. So now there's an opening on the Supreme Court that Trump could fill before the election. You can watch news pundits and their ilk lose their minds over this one, because if he tries to forward a nomination, they're going to spike it, they're going to kill it, and then use that as political capital right before the race, that he's trying to overtake, whatever they're going to use, the Supreme Court. So as it stands right now, the Supreme Court is even, because Justice Roberts is a liberal liberal in drag. Says he's Republican, conservative, but he's not. So now is the opportunity where if Trump can push through before his election, which I don't see it happening, but it'd be a truly conservative bench, which I have a problem with. Whether it's a conservative or liberal bench, they should be a bench. They should be concerned with law more so than politics. They're not elected officials. They're supposed to be the representation of Lady Justice with the blindfold, right? They're not, but that's what they're supposed to be. So anyway, that's the breaking news of the day. So this is going to be very interesting how this turns out. So moving on. The thing I really wanted to get into with this video is gaslighting. We all see it every day. We all can feel it, but a lot of people can't put a label or a name or something to it. What you're seeing and feeling is called gaslighting. Gaslighting is where you basically see something with your own eyes and people tell you didn't see what you saw, or try to convince you that you didn't see what you saw. So I'm hoping I can kind of show you what to kind of watch out for. This kind of spurred from a podcast I was watching. It was a Dan Bongino show, and he was highlighting how questions from the media are framed. And his specific example was talking about how the questions are framed to Trump and how they're framed to Biden. And it kind of got me. I've seen this constantly, and I pointed out, and people think I'm crazy. But so obviously the press doesn't like Trump. It's a given. You can even say Fox News doesn't really like Trump because they've been starting to move to the left, but whatever. So when the media questions Trump, whether it's the one-on-one interviews, the town halls, whatever, the press conferences, etc., they go at him how do you justify your reaction to this? How do you justify your reaction to that? Well, so-and-so is coming out and the whistleblower saying that you did this, that kind of stuff, right? They're on point with him, which from a reality standpoint, that's what the media is supposed to do, but to everybody, right? So they should be going after Trump, just as they should go after every politician, just as they should have gone after Obama, etc., right? But they go after Trump that way. They're on him, right? So he showed a couple clips of questions that were being asked of Biden, and then he pointed out something where questions, obviously, Biden's done lost his mind, so they're hand feeding him stuff and they're pushing his wheelchair along, etc. But they answer, well, this is what Trump did today. What's your reaction to that? This is what Trump said today. How do you feel about that? So he also mentioned that, during the whole Spygate and Russiagate conspiracy theories that the media was pushing, it was all, attacking Trump. Well, then the stuff started coming out about Biden and his son and Burisma, which is still coming. But everything in the press was the Republican or GOP or conservatives' reactions to this conspiracy theory, right? So they took focus off of the story, which was Burisma, Hunter Biden being, paid millions of dollars for doing nothing with no experience, etc. And you throw China in the mix if you want. But anyway, so the story was Biden was point man for Ukraine. His son got a job with Burisma. There's millions of dollars that went missing, millions of dollars in bribes, etc. So that's the story. But what the media did said, oh, look at the Republicans' reactions to this conspiracy theory. Look at all their stories on it, with a few exceptions. All your legacy media, mainstream media is, oh, look at the Republicans trying to use this as a weapon towards Biden in a presidential year or presidential election year, right? So it's all pointing at the negativity of the Republicans, not focused on the allegations, court documents from Ukraine that came out, all kinds of stuff, right? So they totally ignore it and go to that. But when it's Trump and Spygate, they're on it, right? So I think we've all seen this. Now, you, depending upon which side of this coin you lie, you may see it one differently than I do, but I know you see it. So anyway, that's a form of gaslighting that the press does to you. So I'm going to show you definition, going to show you some warning signs, and show you a clip or two about what's going on with gaslighting, and kind of hopefully it registers with you, clicks with you, that this is, so it gives you some more ammunition to kind of watch what to watch for when you're reading an article, watching the news, watching a YouTube video, whatever, right? So anyway, I was going to get to this. So first and foremost, the definition. So this is dictionary.com's definition. Gaslight is manipulate someone by psychological means into questioning their own sanity. Okay, very brief description. The better one, though, honestly, in my opinion, is actually a Wikipedia one. It's actually pretty much on point. So you have gaslighting is a form of psychological manipulation in which a person or a group covertly sows seeds of doubt in a targeted individual or group, making them question their own memory, perception, or judgment, often evoking in them cognitive dissonance and other changes, including low self-esteem. So tell me how familiar that sounds. I see things happen on the news, whatever, online, whatever. And, I'm like, wow, that can't be, this has got to be course A or because of A. And then the media comes out, oh no, it's B, it's all B. Prime example of that being from the very beginning of all the protests and riots going on, it's all peaceful protest. Even when Minneapolis was burning to the ground, you guys all remember that clip of the reporter going, oh, it's mainly peaceful protesters. Meanwhile, there's a building burning in the background. There's been several of those kind of clips pushed out, but here's the guy standing in front of a building that you can see with your own eyes that's burning. It's been burnt to the ground, saying it's mainly peaceful. That's gaslighting. He's telling you something different than what your eyes are seeing. Even today in the media, they've even gone so far as to put a number to these things, right? oh, even though 80% of the protests are peaceful, Trump's just focusing on the 20% of the non-peaceful. They don't call them riots. They call them non-peaceful. The media refuses, along with Democratic representatives in Congress and Senate, etc., to even say that Antifa is a violent domestic terrorist type organization. Same with BLM. They refuse to do it. So even in the media, when the media is covering, you get the guy standing there with a mic with a building burning in the background that the rioters have just torched with Molotov cocktails or whatever, you're being gaslit because the guy's telling you it's mainly a peaceful protest. That's gaslighting. That's what is happening to you. One of the most current ones right now is the forest fires going out on the West Coast. There's been dozens of people arrested, some people multiple times, for starting fires out on the West Coast. But what do you see in the media? It's climate change. Really? You can chalk some of them up to natural. You can chalk some of them up to, California's mismanagement of the wildlife or the forest. You can chalk some of it up to accidental, somebody throws a cigarette butt out the window, whatever, right? Because we're human, we do stupid shit. But not all of them. There's no way. And the best meme I've seen to date about the forest fires is, it's a map of the United States with little icons for the fires. And the caption is, it's just amazing that climate change adheres to borders, because there's no fires burning in Canada just from Washington down. And you have multiple people arrested. What does the media tell you? Climate change. You're being gaslit. You're being gaslit. I hope it clicks and registers with you guys. So anyway, I want to get into something else on this too. So it's just a quick article in Psychological Today. It was written in 2017. It's 11 warning signs of being gaslighting. If somebody's now this isn't regards to or specifically about media. This is just if someone or some person is trying to gaslight you, right? They tell blatant lies. The dude is standing in front of the burning building, mostly peaceful process. Or it's climate change causing these fires, even though, disregard those 24 people that have been arrested for starting fires. They deny they ever said something, even though you have proof. Tell me that ain't familiar. CNN, politicians do it daily. So does Fox, so does ABC, CBS, etc. Oh no, we never said that. Well, here's video proof of it. Oh, that's photoshopped. That's been edited. That's been deceptively edited. What times have you heard that being used, right? So anyway, they use what is near and dear to you as ammunition. It's more like they appeal to your emotions versus appeal to logic kind of thing. They wear you down over time. I got a video clip coming up to kind of demonstrate this one a little bit more. So you guys all know the whole saying, tell a lie long enough and tell a lie long enough and it becomes truth, right? That's being gaslit. Their actions do not match their words. There's a video clip of what's his name, Anderson Cooper, who just did a town hall with Biden where they are, standing, 20 feet apart or whatever with masks and blah, 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 or not masks, but they're 20 feet apart because of social distancing, trying to, keep up that image. And then they were cut into commercials. So they thought the video was over, and Biden and Anderson Cooper walked over. They were literally face to face. Anderson Cooper even turned his head so he could hear Biden better. Kind of, that's what it looked like anyway. But their actions do not match their words. They throw in positive reinforcement to confuse you. They know confusion weakens people. So if you start to doubt yourself, doubt your own eyes, doubt your own ears, you doubt your own logical, cognitive abilities, when 1 + 1 = 2, but when somebody's throwing confusion in the mix, saying no, it actually equals 3, and they repeat it enough, and they use all these other tactics, you start to doubt yourself. Well, they've weakened your argument, right? Happens all the time. So anyway, they project. Tucker Carlson had the best example of this. Whatever the left accuse you of doing, that's what they're actually doing, right? They project. that's just a kind of a small example, but I hope you get the idea. They try to align people against you. This drives me crazy. Okay, so media does it. People do it. You could almost throw this under the appeal to authority fallacy kind of concept, where, just because you appeal to what is supposed to be an authority doesn't mean that an authority is 100% correct, or they could actually be dead wrong, right? So anyway, they try to line people against you to say, okay, well, here are these 35,000 people that agree with us. You only have 4 people that agree with you. Therefore, we are right and you are wrong. Happens daily in the media. They tell you or others that you are crazy. This is CNN's go-to tactic. They may not say crazy, but they say you're a conspiracy theorist. Why is the term conspiracy theorist a negative? Why does it have a negative connotation to it? Everybody knows it has a negative connotation to it. So when CNN is out there saying, the Hunter Biden and Burisma thing, right? Oh, you guys are crazy for believing this. That's a conspiracy theory. It's been debunked. There was no case, no court cases, blah, blah. It's all lies. It's all non-truths, but they're telling you that you're crazy about it. And then they tell you everyone else is a liar. Again, it goes back to, this falls in line with the other one where, look, y'all are crazy. You're being lied to. Or, this ain't true, you're lying. They do it with Trump and or Trump's cabinet people and pressers all the time. Politicians, you can't nail them down with a yes or no answer. I don't give a shit which side of the aisle they fall on. But anyway, they stick to the narrative. They stick to their talking points and that kind of stuff, right? So they'll come right out and call somebody a liar, even though what the person said was actually true, just to keep pushing the narrative that they have been told to push. And yes, they have been told to push. So I'm going to show you a video clip here in just a second of an example of the media pushing a narrative. I think some of you guys have seen these before or something like them. So it shouldn't be new to a lot of people, but it might be to some. It might be an eye-opener. So anyway, so this is an example of media all pushing a narrative. Just pay attention.
Sharing of biased and false
news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media outlets publish things aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use those.
So, I hope you caught it. They're all saying the same thing. Now, they throw their individual, station names or whatever into it. But did you happen to catch it's Fox, NBC, CBS, ABC affiliates? It isn't just Fox News. It isn't just CNN. It isn't just ABC. It's all of them. This happened to be something that came out about 2 years ago. An organization or whatever they are called Deadspin came out with this. This was specifically all Sinclair Media affiliates that were doing this, pushing this fake news message, and they were all reading from a script. So if you don't think the media is trying to influence you, you are asleep. They are not reporting the news. They are not the fourth branch of the government. They are not the watchdogs. They are nothing but puppets. When you see something and you know that 1 + 1 = 2, and then you see the media saying 1 + 1 = 3, that should set off alarm bells in your head quickly. I hope that some of this information helps some of you. I hope it brings to light what to watch out for. I'll go back to what Dan Bongino was saying today about questions. Pay attention to, I don't care which news media outlet you watch. I really don't care. Watch how questions are posed to one group of people versus a different group of people by the same organization, the same media, the same news anchor. And I'm going to bring this as an example, and I'm going to end it with this. I left a message or a note on Dan's video today. It's a snippet he had. He's got a full-blown interview coming up with President Trump that he's going to publish this weekend, his third interview with the president. So Dan Bongino is posing softball questions to the president, which is exactly what he's accusing the mainstream press of doing with Biden. So I called him out on it. Whether he reads it or not, don't know. Whether people read it and comment and hate me for it, don't know, but don't care. It wasn't meant to be a bash towards Bongino. It wasn't meant to denigrate him or belittle him or nothing. But if you're going to sit there and accuse and show how the media is biased towards Trump versus how they're biased towards Biden, and then you go in and do the exact same thing that was done with the president that you're accusing them of doing Biden, kind of makes it hard to really stick behind you on that one. All politicians deserve to be railed, their life under a microscope, scrutinized. Every move they make, what they had for lunch that day, needs to be challenged. Our founding fathers did not like politicians. They thought they should all be kept at arm's length, not trusted, etc. And they told, one of the biggest warnings coming from our founding fathers was, if anybody those who seek power should be the ones who never get power. So anyway, I'll leave you with that. I hope this helped. I hope this brings up a few good points for you. I hope you enjoyed it. And on that, I'll say good night. Good night, Gracie.